420, 420, for 20 long years. I smoked lots of reefer and drank lots of beer. Every day at 420, we're going to settle on this score. And for 20 long years, it's been 20 past 4.
Hello, welcome to 420 Live. I'm Jeff Kravitz. I'm still Jeff Kravitz. Last time I checked, I had to look at my ID today to make sure that I was who I claimed to be. Even I'm dubious. Even I don't believe anything anymore. Even who I am or why I'm here. But as you know, we're winding down 2020, the year that we were so looking forward to. Think back to 365 days a year. I'd be in New York City right now, just about to see. I missed the first night of the Fish Run because I was seeing Dead & Company here in LA. I was a glutton. Instead of 4 shows, I was like, I'll do 5. So I took the family to 2 Dead & Company shows here in Los Angeles at the wonderful, world-famous Forum. I miss my friends at the Forum and the people that own the Forum, the same people that own MSG. I miss my friends at MSG also. As you know, I am a big proponent of our MSG family and all they've done for our scene and my bottle cap fiasco. If you don't know about the bottle cap fiasco, it's written about in fish books. I've made fishtory with this, my bottle cap fiasco at the Baker's Dozen. But anyway, I'm digressing. Shouts out, hats off, cheers to all our friends in the entertainment business. I know everybody's happy that the Save Our Stages Act got passed and there's going to be money coming down for all the of the industry that keeps us all going, especially in the infancy, the early parts of the business with the young bands, the baby bands, they've been calling them in the articles, on how important these venues like the Troubadour are, where they would have a young band opening up for a more established act. And, you know, the Rolling Stones were always good at helping people out earlier in their careers. They were the first to put Prince on a tour where he promptly got booed. And as you know, last year, it started off so strong. I mean, yes and no. I mean, there were the signs. I guess Trey getting stuck up on the platform was a sign. Hi, Miley. I brought Miley out. Kiki's like, I can't have this sweatshirt in my closet anymore, Dad. I was like, wow, I don't even know what happened to the T-shirt, but Miley's in the house. This is a famous picture I took of Miley getting high at the MTV European Music Awards, and somebody put it on a shirt in a bed of marijuana leaves, and instead of sending a cease and desist, I paid for a couple of shirts. Oh, well, I'm a sucker. I have to buy my own merch. Anyway, I hope you all had a good holiday. I hope whatever you celebrated, whether it was a bush or a tree, the Hanukkah bush or the Christmas tree, I hope whatever you were searching for in that box you unwrapped was in there. It's amazing how intuitive your family is. I got a lot of things with dancing bears and little red circles on them. From the fam. I'm very easy to shop for, but I hope everyone got what you want. And if you're not, it's now on sale. Discount prices. Get out there, spend the money. You have $600 coming to you if you're remotely lucky. I know they tried to make it $2K. Just gotta love that about our president saying, "Yeah, you guys should get $2,000." It's the first good thing he said in 4 years, and you know he said it just to bite Mitch McConnell's ass because now Mitch McConnell's he's in a conundrum because. What's going to happen? All those people in Georgia are like, they're like, hey, look at us. You better give us money. If you don't give us, it's almost like buying the votes. If you give them the $2,000, you might have a better chance of winning that election in Georgia than if you just stiff them. $600 doesn't go far, especially after 9 months, as my friends know. Hello. Yes, it's Jeff Franca. Thank you. He is still fucko. I will say that. He's doing what he can to make life difficult for us. But, you know, his days are numbered. And every day they click it off on the Twitter. Everybody's counting down. I like when we got the 46 days. Obvious jokes there. But, you know, this is our future. It's what's happening. It's how we're going to go past it. But, you know, as I was saying, I had a pretty good year going. I pulled up some pictures here to go through my year with you guys to show you what I was doing before I got sidelined pretty much. And these are in, I guess I should kind of go in order, huh? Let me try to go in order here. They don't really line up in order, but I'll do my best. Okay, here we go. We'll start with, oh yeah, that was first, The Outsiders premiere. Remember The Outsiders, HBO's Outsiders? Here, let's do this. Hide the sidebar. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we're going to go through what was starting off to be such a great year. This is my 2020 Rapiola here. We're going to share the screen. Going to show you guys some photographs. Application window. Bada boom, bada bing. There it is. Jason Bateman with his co-star from The Outsiders, whose name escapes me. It was on the caption, but I love The Outsider. I thought it was one of the true highlights of the winter. That we were watching that before everything hit the fan. The Outsider. And then, I went to shoot the Critics' Choice Awards as the first show of the year. And I shot that and got a lovely picture of two old guys. There's Pacino and De Niro. I mean, the guys are legend. Come on. Two legends there in the shot. No award show. I mean, actually, I'm waiting to hear what's happening with award shows. So I don't know. There might be award shows. Yes. And the HBO show. Can I tell what it's called? Avenue 5, right? Avenue 5, something like that, right? Did you guys like that show? You're looking stoned today, Jeff. What's up, Kenny? Yes, I am. Well, if not, I have my handy little vape here. Bye. Works like a charm. I'll remember the show's names even less. Thanks, Ken. Yes, the cast of Josh Gad and Hugh Laurie and Zach Kravitz. No, Smith, maybe. The podcast, I heard podcast awards. Will Ferrell in there for the podcast awards. I was literally shooting absolutely anything. I mean, I would shoot if it was like the opening of it didn't matter. Opening of a can of soup. I'd be like, yes, I will take it. I like soup. And I wasn't even doing my webcast at that point, but I was feeling I was feeling that I needed to investigate because podcasts, they're a really popular form of entertainment, as we all know. We've been surviving on podcasts, not so much webcasts. Let's face it. You got to have a face for webcasting. The Black Keys. This was at the the iHeart Ego Awards. This is the electronic. iHeart does all their shows. They have that come up in the spring and fall, and they do the Jingle Ball shows. And this was the Ego Award, the Ego shows, which were basically featuring new wave alternative music. New wave. I'm dating myself. Yeah, look at this, right from the Black Keys into the TBS Screen Actors Guild Awards. Also very early in the mix is the Screen Actors Guild Awards. This is the cast of Parasite. Do you guys remember this? It was so long ago. It feels like a galaxy far away. It was so far. And into the Grammys. This was the Music Cares tribute to Aerosmith, and Steven Tyler didn't come out to his own red carpet, which is, if you know Steven Tyler, was really kind of strange because the guy loves a photo op. But Alice Cooper came out, and I don't want to say it's his daughter, but I'll say it's his daughter. It's probably his wife, but I'm going to go with daughter-wife. It takes right big to the big show, the Grammys, which are also going to happen again this year somehow with some kind of audience. Here's Billie Eilish. Remember Billie? She was like the hottest flavor last year. Everybody was like, Billie, Billie, Billie. Now I don't even hear her music. Maybe I'm not listening to Billie Eilish. Maybe, maybe I got to get the Billie Eilish channel going on my Spotify there. And right to the event of the year, the Super Bowl. This is the press conference for the Super Bowl, which is a couple days before, as you know, J-Lo and Shakira. And I'm waiting to hear the status on the Super Bowl. Will I be going to the Super Bowl? Are they? It's in Tampa. I'm sure he's going to have 60,000 people in that stadium. They're going to pack it in. So I would think that they would be like, yeah, sure, come on down. You want to chance it? You're the next one up. Hopefully, someone will vaccinate me by then. This is the NHL Honors, which is really an interesting night of because you get all these NFL stars coming out and walking a red carpet and tuxedos and jackets. And most of the time you see these guys, they're not with their significant other. Here you have Russell Wilson from the Seahawks with his beautiful wife, Kiara. And I was very proud of them because they held on to their virginity until they got married, which it's very admirable. Or maybe they held on to it again a second time. I don't really know the real story. And when you go to the Super Bowl, I was hired to shoot the Sports Illustrated party. My friend Matt Gavin, my dad Malcolm, an old friend of mine from Atlantic City Beach, from Plaza Place Beach, he threw this party for Sports Illustrated, hired me to do this. And this is Jabberwockies with the Baby. You know, this was Paul McCartney came walking through this party. Elon Musk was there. It was like one of those parties you had to be on South Beach, outside, beautiful, beautiful night, perfect Super Bowl party weather. It was a little breezy, but still, it was a great night, and they had great talent. Marshmello DJ'd. Marshmello, like that's a thing. Like there's a Marshmello, and then this shot of my career, this photograph right here of J-Lo and Shakira. After shooting the Super Bowl for over 2 decades, I got the shot that was on every magazine and newspaper and news show the next day. I couldn't have been, it's like having a child, when you take these photographs and when you see one that goes up and grows up and becomes really successful, you're like, ah, there's my kid. And that's kind of what it feels like when you have a winner and you're just like, you're so proud to see your work featured so prominently, especially with 200 other cameras in the stadium with me shooting along. And when I went back to look at this moment and watched the halftime show about 2 weeks after it was done, I was amazed at how quick these guys were together. And I kind of realized why I got the shot. And it's not because I do anything but sit there with my finger on the hammer like that. And I push everything so I can shoot as quickly as possible, get the quickest shutter speed in there, try to freeze it up. I want it in focus. I want good depth of field. I want to freeze the action. As you can see, nothing is out of focus in that picture, which, if you know me, is a miracle. Anyway, I got the weekend this year. I'm sure it'll be not quite as sexy as this, but that helps a lot to have 2 women that look this good coming together like that. And watch the halftime show again. And when you see this moment at the end, you'll see what I'm talking about, how fast they come together and then just kind of split apart. And this takes us into the creme de la crop of the award season, which would be the Spirit Awards, which kicks off Oscar weekend. The Oscars, they're going to happen also, just like the Grammys. They want to do it with an audience, and they want to do it where people come and get their trophies. And, I just saw a thing today saying that we're probably, the rate we're going, we're inoculating 1 million people a day. And at this rate, everybody in the country will be inoculated in 10 years. We need to do 3.5 million people a day. We have the doses. We just don't have the plan. So we need to, everything will change in 3 weeks when we get getting leaders that really want to lead and not sit around with the golf club up their ass. Anyway, Sheila Booth, I think he's heading to rehab. So keeping it topical. And then right on to the Oscars. I missed the red carpet. I'm just showing you the shot of the night, which is kind of when you get the actors together. There was one more actress in this, and she was very cooperative and didn't want to come in for this last shot. I can't remember who it was, but I want to say Frances McDormand, but I could be totally wrong. Anyway, it's what's his name? The Joker, and then the Bridget Fonda Diary, and then Brad Pitt Jolie. Brad Jolie Pitt. They're your superstars there's your 2020 team. And I don't even know who's going to be competing in 2021. We didn't even have a full year of movies. A lot of stuff got shelved. I mean, what are they voting on? I get the music. This was Women of Troy. This was a documentary. I HBO, an old client of mine for many, many years now, over 3 decades. I've been working with HBO, and this was the Women of Troy doc. Here they are. These were women I could finally look eye to eye to, even a little bit taller than me in some cases. But this great doc about the USC basketball team. And my last couple jobs before pandemic both had to do with Westworld. This was on the red carpet at Westworld red carpet at the Cinerama Dome. It was the last premiere I shot in 2020. By this time, I'd at least done a couple dozen premieres. I would have had a dozen festivals under my belt rolling into the December of this year. But, this is the year that wasn't. Anyway, these ladies, they're all beautiful. And if you're not watching Westworld, Fam's actually watching it again at the house. And here's a nice candid carpet moment. And this was inside backstage where they do the Emmy for your considerations. This is the cast with Aaron Paul and with Luke. That's Luke, right? Hemsworth. And this is once the pandemic started with my friend John Shank. I shot our buddy Scary Pool Party, and we had a great time. That was an amazing show. It was one of my first indoor musical experiences of the year, my first and only indoor musical experience of the year. And besides that, hold on, let's do this. Go to the beginning here. And then there was also the VMAs, which I really didn't pull any pictures from. That was the other job I did. And the best thing I did all year was this little puppy here. It was my trip to the Virgin Islands where I picked up the guitar. This is when I picked up the guitar in my Goldfish Tyrannosaurus Rex hat right here, or my bathing suit and my t-shirt. I picked up the guitar and sat in on Funky Bitch with Marcus Rezak and Shred Is Dead. And then played another 2 songs the next day. Kind of the highlight, I have to say. One of the highlights of my year this year is rocking out on top of Great Cruise Bay. And that's my buddy Damon's boat out there with the lights underneath it, who I went diving with. And that Strat, Big Adam Strat right there from Big Adam Cook from the beautiful island of St. John. And, that's what happened in 2020, folks. I mean, that's what I got. So what am I missing from there? The VMAs you didn't see. And I think there's one other thing that I shot that's not in there. Anyway, it's very sparse. March to December, very sparse. But in 2 days, I will be shooting a New Year's Eve concert. Yes, that's right. Me and my camera will be probably one of a couple dozen people in a room with our friend Justin Bieber and the SB Productions people, all my friends over there, Allison and Scooter and Julia, all the people there working with T-Mobile to bring you Justin's first concert in 3 years. Well, I've auctioned off this position on eBay, and it's up over $1.5 million for my job. So I'm selling my soul. No, it would be really nice if I could just transfer it to somebody. I don't want to do it, but I sold my job for $2.5 million on an open auction. Someone else take my spot inside the Bieber concert, because I know there's a lot of you Bieber fans out there that are very excited about his first concert back in 3 years. And I'm excited to be in there with my camera to shoot it because, he's one of the top pop artists there is. And that's kind of where I've excelled over the years. You see all the cool pictures back there, but the stuff that's missing that I really love is my Britney Spears and my Christina Aguileras and my NSYNCs and Backstreets. And I just love the pop artists, the MTV flash in the pans, fly by nights, the one you'd see one year, they'd be like the biggest song you ever heard, and you never hear from them again. Not quite the case with Britney Spears, but you could see people kind of lose their relevancy out there. So one of the things I wanted to discuss was, what do you think is going to happen in 2021? I saw an article in Rolling Stone talking about the music business. When are we going to get our new concerts? When are we going to get our concerts back? How difficult it is to be. And I did catch the little line in there by AEG, by AXS Tickets, where the gentleman said that we could have out this summer will be random sporadic shows in outdoor venues that are sectioned off, that are ready, little spots for everybody to stand in so that everybody's socially distanced properly and with the mask protocol and everything else. So that made me think about where we would be going. And I love that Coachella site. I think the Empire Fairgrounds would be absolutely incredible place to set up for concerts. I think it's got plenty of room to social distance, and it would be the greatest thing ever. So I'm hoping we're going to see some shows out there at the Empire Fairgrounds. I guess you're talking about maybe a couple baseball stadiums, but I guess we're going to be right in the middle of baseball. So maybe football stadiums, a couple of those set up with big pods. Are you excited about pod concerts? I don't know, folks. I don't know. The only pods I like right now are the 710 Lab. Oh, and this will be my last show of the year. Tomorrow I'll be doing a walkthrough for the Bieber show around 2:00 tomorrow. So unfortunately, I will not be here. I'll try to come with a West Coast 420, maybe on New Year's Eve day, just to say hi and to have a last smoke of the year with everybody. But this will be the official end of the year show, maybe the end of my career show, the way things are going. Yes, well, Fish Mexico, it was a 2020 highlight for sure. Hello, Kevin Statzer. Happy holidays to you. We had a great time. I am glad that you're tuning in live, and Memorex does date us both. I did a drive-in show, Amy Marie, and it was really good. I think that you have to have a PA. You can't do it on the thing. But Fish Mexico was some of the best fish I've seen in Mexico in the years I've gone, and was some of my favorite shows. And I could really tell because it's how many times I go back to listen to it again and again. And I would have to say the show with the Shafty, I think was night 2, first set. Shafty was kind of like the highlight set of the year for me in some ways, because I just love the in and out and the interplay. Second set was all over the place, but the first set was where, for me as a fan, I really found my love of my favorite show. And it seemed to me Fish was firing on all cylinders. And they'd been at it for a couple of years of touring and getting together and playing. And now everybody's just sitting around. So, okay, good. Night 2 was incredible. Just checking. But they were all good. There was highlights every night. I had a great time. It was great setup. It was really nice for everybody to be in the same hotel. I don't understand why something like that can't work. The Mexican government's obviously raging from what I heard in Tulum. But, I'm sure it's the band and wanted to take responsibility and also want to do something bigger than just for 6,000 people when this is over. I know your brother-in-law there, Kevin. And one thing I know about your brother-in-law is he wants to be inclusive to everybody. And I'm sure he wants as many people to be at the first show back as possible, which is why I'm pushing for the Empire Polo Fields. So get them on it. I want to go see Fish play the Empire Polo Fields, mainly because it's 2 hours from my house and there's great rentals out there. We had a blast. We want to talk about a good time. We had a good time out there too, Statzer. I remember that Empire Polo Fields was that 2009, our Halloween show. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you. Kevin says, good idea. Good idea. Good rentals, golf. Bring the family, love the pool, be a good time of year. That I think that's what AEG has to do, is they have to activate these venues that they have out there. Live Nation too, but I don't know how many live venues. That's why everybody's like, oh, Fish is going to come back at the Garden, or whatever band's going to come back at the Garden. And I don't think anybody's coming. I hate to say it because my good friends run that Garden, but I don't think anybody's coming back to the Garden until everybody's inoculated. So. Bob English had a good time at the Polo Fields. It was great times. It was definitely different to have the Vermont maple syrupy vibe with that Indio, California, Palm Springsy kind of vibe. The maple syrup palm tree thing intertwining out there it's just beautiful, beautiful weather. I mean, and that's what it's all about. We're going to need places that are outdoors, that have temperate weather, where we can all gather together and be relatively safe. And I think we're going to go back to seated floors. I hate to say it. I don't think we're going to be going back to GA floors when we come back. What do you think, Ike? Yeah, you could crash at the house. Or here, you can crash right here in the office on the bed. Social distancing at Jazz Fest, that is an AEG venue, and you could technically do it. Everybody would have a pod, first come, first serve. Oh, God. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know. But yeah, okay, Carrie, I agree. I'm not exactly excited with the options, but you're just looking at what the options are. Because let's face it, the guys have to want to play as bad as we want to see them play. All the bands, everybody out there that does this for a living has to be itching at the bit after 9 months sitting on the couch, looking at your significant other, just going, hey, what's for lunch? Hey, what's for dinner? There has to be something more. Seated floors are the worst. I don't know. It was really nice in 97. I remember going to Worcester with Kevin Statzer and those beautiful 10th row seats right in front of Trey that were just for me every night. That was pretty sweet. I kind of like a seated floor. It's great. Got room. You're like, nobody's stepping on you saying, hey, you're in my spot. Hey, you're in my spot. One more person tells me they're in their spot. Why, I oughta. It's more like, what's for snack? What are we eating now? Do I think Fish Light will play MetLife Stadium for the what? For the what? Will the demand be high? Duh. You technically, Fish coming back could be like when the Grateful Dead went out and they were playing all stadiums at the end. Every place had 70, 80,000 deadheads packed inside of it. That's the way it was. I mean, that's how demand was. And I can see that demand building because I know what people are doing at home. They're turning everybody else on to music. They've been sitting around. What are you listening to? Oh, I'm listening to this Fish show. MSG was seated the day after the hiatus. Yes. And I remember when we went to Worcester, it was seated, and that was 97, 98 after the hiatus. So that would be 2003, 2000 hiatus 1. I'm assuming you're talking about. You can stand on the chairs. It was a kind of a nightmare. People standing on the chairs. Will the demand be high? Come on, Joe. You kidding me? This is crazy. This is crazy shit we're seeing. This is demand be high. Carrie, think about this. Not even a seated floor, a floor where you have a box for you and your 4 friends. And you have to buy the boxes because they're not going to just let it free for all. Go out there and run and go get your box. So everybody would buy the box. You're still going to buy your space wherever you are. There's not going to be when Fish comes back, it's not going to be a free for all to the front like it's been. There's not going to be any lining up. So there it is. Yes, till after the hiatus, first hiatus. So that's 2003, 2000 till after the first hiatus, 2000 till 2003. So it's been a nice 17-year run with the GA floor, but I kind of think those days are finished. I mean, they're not going to just allow it because it doesn't give the proper spacing right now. And once people get out low to that, when does that come back in? I mean, at the present inoculation, 4 friends. Yes, 4 friends in a box. You're going to get like a little box for you and your 4 friends to have your little pod. That's what they usually do, 4, maybe 6 in the pod, depending on how big it is. After the second hiatus, they went to the seated floors. So that would be 2009. Yeah, because the second hiatus was 2004 to 2009, right? That was the 5-year hiatus. So 2009. Well, there's not much room there. And he's been saving her pennies. I'll pay whatever it takes to see live music. That was the other thing. Back in 2010, 11, 12, it was still seated. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember going 1, 11, 11. And that's where I met Dan Canner, was that run, because he was in the same seats as me down there on the floor. Yes, 2011. That's right. MSG. When I met Dan, and now look at me. You won't find moments in a box, but it depends if you might find your friends in the box. There'll be no inner box mixing or mingling out there either. You're going to stay in your box, stay in your lane. I wonder if you'd be able to pass joints from box to box. Maybe just throw them over. Everybody's using the power hitter now. The old school power hitter. put the doobie in there. You don't have to no lip contact. See, no contact, no flame necessary. What a year. This is the craziest year. The fact that I'm here, that, that my family's like, oh, you're going to go do your show again. I was like, I better get it in because I don't know what's going to happen with Bieber the next couple of days and what time I need to be there and stuff. So I better do my sign off for the year. Who knows what's going to happen next year? I could end up joining the French Foreign Legion, or, maybe I'll join the Eternal Brotherhood of Light. 2012 was when I went to EAS, because 2011 we were in those seats. 2012, I was looking at what years I went to see Fish, and it was so sporadic because my wife would be like, well, the kids are on vacation, we have to go away. And so we would go on vacation here or there. I saw, as I'm looking through my timeline, all the different places. 12/29, this is legendary day for music. I mean, 12/28s have been good, but never really something that ended up being the best night of the run. Usually it was 12/29, 30 or 31, usually rarely 31, 29 or 30 were the hot nights to be inside the Garden. And, I saw some dude on Twitter talking about, like, you go to umps for the music, you go to Fish for the spectacle, and such bullshit. You go where you go, you see what you see. I love Humphreys McGee. I love the Fish. I love it all. The Den and Company was fun last year. Well, actually, it wasn't that fun. I was really disappointed. Bobby Ludington, the power hitter. Bobby, so good to see you and Paulie Greasy. Greasy was Pauly Shore's right hand back for years when I first was hanging out back in the day, the Weasel days. Now Pauly's living in Vegas, and I saw the two of them together. It just warmed my heart. See Greasy and Pauly back together, my old school boys from the old MTV days. It was amazing the past year, connecting with all these people from all the different walks of life that I've touched. The Jeffrey Rosses, the Pauly Shores, the Stuart Copelands, Tommy Chong, who I didn't even know, but we became great friends. Good to see you there too, Bobby. Say hi to your family, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody out there. I hope that the year that's coming is bringing you I don't want to get too excited because, like, I remember, so I looked at some of my posts from 2019, like right around now, and the posts were like, 2020 is going to be amazing. And I had such a great year lined up. I know we all did. We had such a great year lined up. 2019 sucked. And I'm like, fuck, I would give my left nut to have 2019 back again, sucking. So back together again. See, you thought it would never happen, didn't you? Remember you telling me, Paulie, he comes around. He's coming around. He's a softie in his old age. I see it happening. There you go. You Ryan and Montbleu on New Year's Eve with my wife. Our first New Year's Eve show was since MSG 95. Oh, so you're going to a concert. Oh, you are going to a show. Ryan Montbleu. I don't even know who else or what else is going on. There was supposed to be a party at La Scala in Beverly Hills, and they put the menus inside all their takeout bags. And I guess not everybody's excited about a bootleg New Year's Eve party and sent the thing to Twitter. So people, you're not only can't you have fun, but no one else can have fun while you're not having fun. Yeah, Zorn, you live in the UK, so you got a total pass. You work at Abbey Road Studios. You're my photographer, so you're welcome here. This is not just Fish exclusive. It's just that, I kind of know my crowd and my friends. Thank you, Ike. It was great. It was amazing to connect with you and with all my friends back there on the East Coast, and especially this summer to be able to see Jeff and hang out and go see a show in Philly and be there for that long in Margate. That was one of my highlights of the year, was escaping from LA at the first peak of the pandemic and running to New Jersey to hide out with Mom and my brother Greg and enjoy some beach time out there. And I knock on wood, I've made it through my travels unscathed by the COVID. And I know it's a crapshoot every day when you go out there, but you don't know what's going to happen. People are getting it in their own house. So I don't know what the science is. I'm not a scientist, but I know one thing. I'll go crazy. I have to do something, which is why I'm here, because I can't stop just because everything stops. And this was a great way. 420 Live was an amazing way for me to connect with everybody in a time when I would have been in a deep, dark hole trying to figure out my identity. I was totally lost in this new world of webcasting and educating myself about it and sitting there taking my Instagram courses and how to engage more viewers, but none of it really matters. I mean, what it was about was just engaging myself, and engaging myself, I would engage you guys. And that's kind of what it is. A lot of you know me, and a lot of you either love or hate me. And let's face it, you don't want people to be wishy-washy. I like when people make a stand. You can tell me you love me. You can tell me you hate me. As long as you care, that's all it is. You know, if you want to see me fry, it's okay. I feed off that energy too. No stones left unturned. So, Spafford. Yes, Spafford's coming on. I was actually thinking of going down to Arizona to see Spafford before I got the Bieber gig or doing anything. I'm just so desperate to engage. You know, one of my friends on Facebook posted that she was happy that, you know, she didn't have to go worrying about the rave or missing the party, and just not have to worry about the FOMO, and could stay home and relax on a year when you're usually schlepping all over the place. And I gotta admit, going to New York at the end of December, middle of January, beginning of January isn't exactly my favorite thing to do, but I've had such peak experiences at the Garden with all of my fish friends, my family, my OCD family out there, all my people. It's been so hard not to have that. And I guess the hardest part is that we're forced into this, that we don't have an option, that you can't decide that I don't want to go somewhere. There's just nowhere to go. And it's frustrating with the family too, because we're kind of hanging out with each other for holidays, and everybody's like, let's go for a hike. Let's go to the beach. I mean, that's all we have is walking and going around. And even to go out and get something to eat isn't as much fun, because you're just getting a container, and then you're stuck there in front of the place with your container. Let's sit on top of the car and eat. The engagement level, the ability to go places and do things is seriously hampering our style. I know that for everybody out there. So I would like to have the option, whether I would like to go to the Garden or not, whether I choose to participate or not. I think we all would. And it's kind of crazy what's going on. But yes, to have the peak experiences that we all need to help propel us through this life, the things to look forward to. And I think that's kind of what's kind of crazy right now, even with our old standbys like Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving and Halloween, where we'd have something and people to look forward to seeing. You're kind of left trying to err on the side of safety. Not that going to St. John is erring on the side of safety, but I felt pretty safe down there, and the plane didn't really bother me that much. And you know what? I'd go back today, but I'm going to wait a little while. But I do want to go back. I do want to travel again. I know everybody's stay home, and LA's locking down again. Just before I went on air, I got the little thing on my phone says LA is going to continue to lock down. I sure it is, especially as we get the Christmas numbers coming in from everybody that hung out. And with all the testing, I did notice that the line at the testing center was very short today. So that means that not a lot of people are planning to do stuff for New Year's, because the past couple of weeks around the holidays, that line has been around the block. And today there were 3 people in line. And I was like, I haven't seen that since the early days of the COVID. So yes, I agree. It's very, very hard not to be there, especially around the holidays and with everything that we'd be doing right now with each other and going to Rockefeller Center and all the great food. You're right. I'm sad. I'm upset. I wish my wife's like, I don't know if I would have gone. I was like, I would have gone for sure. If there were shows, I would have definitely been there. I would have seen when I got back. Oh, all in the same week. There you go. That's right. I wish you a happy birthday just 2 days ago, I think, right? Thank you, Joe. We had some amazing guests this year, and we're going to see what we're going to do for the new year. I mean, I don't know. This is such an amount of effort and work and disruption on a daily basis, but I love it because it just gives me an ability to just expound on what's going through my brain and try to connect with you guys out there. So I know it's not easy on my end, but I also know it's much appreciated, and I've learned a lot. about myself, about a lot of you out there, and about a lot of my guests that I didn't know. And it was interesting to be able to do some deep dives with people that I would see. You know, you think you know people so well, and then you get to them and you start talking to them and you hear their story, and it's just amazing to watch it unfold on right here. So thank you all for like just being here and coming in with me and going for the deep dive. And I know in the early days, you know, it was a lot easier to tune in because nobody was doing anything. And now you have the kids in school. Everybody's different. I changed the old time zone on you. We're now on the East Coast, 420 live. But, you know, it gives me a day. It gives me my day back. And it also let me readjust my life a little bit because I've never been boxed into a daily commitment before. So this is the first time in my life, you know, I had a job at Paramount Pictures doing payroll accounting that was 9 to 5 for a year and a half. So I would say that's probably my longest consistent thing that I did 5 days a week. But this would definitely be with show 191, we're going to end the year with. If you asked me this time last year about my webcasting career, I doubt I would have been like, yes, that's going to be me. But a lot of us have been pulled into this technological revolution, the Zoom meetings and the Zoom calls. And, you know, it hasn't been a horrible thing this year. It's been bad for our business and it's been bad for our lives, but it's also been a total readjustment of the way we function and the way we roll. And we also have to find our resiliency and to see how we can affect others with our energy, even over the distance and through a phone line. You know, it's one thing I try to do. I'll always come here upbeat and positive, even in the face of some of the most negative news. I mean, my show with Noel Castler, where Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies 3 weeks before the election. I mean, come on. It's such poetic justice, and not even justice, just so poetic the way things happen and the way things lay out, the way history unfolds, and it just happens in your face, and there's no rhyme or reason, but it all seems to make sense. And I'm glad that you guys have come along with me for this ride. And you know, I am not going anywhere on this planet, and wherever I go, I plan on taking you with me. So I plan on staying here is what I basically mean on the earth. Unless there's forces outside my control, like inertia, I will keep rolling until something outside my control forces me to stop. So to all of you out there, thank you. I mean, it's been unbelievable. It's been an unbelievable conundrum we find ourselves in, and I don't know how to wrap my head around it sometimes. And I find myself flip-flopping more than a waffle, but I appreciate the companionship, the love, the camaraderie. It's been something else to be able to come to you guys and, you know, commiserate, hang out, have a smoke, you know, and I just had a lot of laughs, just a lot of fun, a lot of laughs with everybody out there. So I want to thank all my guests this year, 180 shows, 91 shows. I probably had 170 guests. I want to say out of that time, I've only maybe I would say about 170 different people come on the show from all different walks of life. So it's been amazing to be able to dive deep. So thank you all. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope next year, I am always optimistic that we're going to get the things that we need next year, that we're going to put this behind us. I'm just glad that we're heading into the year with capable leadership, someone that actually wants to lead. You know, as much as I don't like to get political, there's a reason that we're here and we have these issues. And it's because we don't have a leader from on top that's creating a safety net or some kind of system that we could all fall in, or even cares about creating a system. So I appreciate it all. Andrea, have been a very positive aspect of this crazy year. Thank you for commitment. Really enjoyed getting to know you more through this and really enjoyed the ride. Thank you. It's been fun. Mark Chadone, our chemist, the future of entertainment. Amy Marie, Happy New Year to you too. Kristen, thank you. Hope you're well. Thanks, Marty. I'm staying there. I had him up and it equals 420. You add up all the shows. It always equals 420. Well, thanks, guys. It's really been something else. Hey, no, Mark Siegelman, thank you. Miss you guys. I'd be seeing the Siegelmans right now. This is the time of year we'd all be hanging out. Carrie, Sheldon. Oh, thank you. All the way from AC, Facebook user. I'll see who it is after the show. I'll be able to see on that. That's my crazy thing. Thanks, Carrie. Missing you in person. I can't wait to be together either. And this year, I don't think there's going to be Burning Man because I think Burning Man's going to have to commit by February. So that means next Labor Day will be Bonnaroo, which I won't mind that much if there's not a Burning Man. But if there is, it'll be a very, very hard choice. Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for joining us. Give our love to your family. Tell Trey thank you for all that he's done for us. And, I still want to get him on the show at some time in my life. That's one of my goals, is to have Trey on here and just ask him one question and just watch him talk for an hour. I have the one question too. Sue, Happy New Year to you too. Thank you. Say hi to Gary and your kids, Sophie and Emily. And Roberto, hello from Italy, #1 Prince fan. Roberto Ongolini dal Bosco. I love Italy. I'm really bummed that I can't get to Europe right now, that we can't travel. I mean, this is really frustrating. Please let them all know how much we love them and how much everybody in the fam, all of our families, the Andaloros, Cloud Surf. Before we know it, this year will be hindsight. It'll be 2021. It'll be like 2020. Thanks, Zorn. Happy New Year to you and everybody in the UK. We look forward to seeing you next year. Jesse Clayton. Still, your studio's looking good, buddy. I saw the work you put into it. Happy New Year. Can't wait till you're back. We can play together again. Russick has been enjoying the gig, though. He's like, let's play again, Kravitz. I'm ready. I'm always ready to play some music. I love it. Love all you guys. Thank you all so very much. And, I'll be reporting back next week on what happened behind the scenes at the Justin Bieber concert at the... I don't think I can tell you where it's going to be. So I'm not going to chance it. For one of the few times this year, I'm going to err on the side of safety. And let's just say Justin Bieber live from... well, come on. I'm going to do that now, John? I'll tell that to Trey when he's here. You can't tip the whole show. The whole show is going to be one question. It's going to be a great question. I'll probably say, fish. And then he'll just go, yeah. And then go off. Very loquacious. Daza. Thank you, Karen. I hope everything's well. I know you're doing your best to keep us all flying up there. All my friends back there in Atlantic City. I love you guys, my family. My mom, my brother Greg, Jamie, Becca, my kids, thanks to my wife, Julianne, and Kiki and Zach and Lulu, and all the patience everybody has with me constantly. I like doing this and doing that. I want to thank Miley Cyrus just because I love a good spectacle. That's been my life. It's the way I made a living. Capturing spectacles, and now I'm being a spectacle. Well, from one spectacle to another, you guys have a happy new year. Jeff Kravitz, 420 Live, signing off for 2020. We will see you in 2021, right back here, 420 Live. Bye, folks.